Hi everyone, hope you're doing well from wherever you're watching this channel, depending on your time zone. Now, yesterday night, Professor Mutahi Ngunyi shared a tweet, and in his tweet, he was comparing William Samoei Ruto to two kind of men. Number one, the reasonable man, and number two, unreasonable man. Remember, his reference was to the current political situation and the mass action we are having in this country. In Professor Mutahi Ngunyi's conclusion, he is confirming to Kenyans that William Samoei Ruto is that unreasonable man. It is either his way or the highway. And let me just read the tweet first before we go further on this. There are two types of men. The reasonable man adopts himself to the world. The unreasonable man insists that the world adopts to him. In the end, all progress depends on the unreasonable man. Bernard Shaw. Ruto is the unreasonable man. Adopt or perish. Hashtag Maandamano Wednesday. That is Professor Mutahi Ngunyi. Now, going by what we have seen from the cabinet in terms of the finance bill, then coming to the National Assembly, then taking it to the public for public participation in the people to give their opinion, then bring it back to the National Assembly, then vote for it, then Okia Mtata, other activists taking the matter to the court, then from the court giving the court order, then from there where we are, and lastly what the government has done up to now with that financial bill. That is the real situation here that Mutahi Ngunyi is trying to describe. Before we expand that, just a quick request for those who are watching and you have not subscribed, please consider subscribing. To our returning members, I must say thank you so much, and again to all our viewers, please give this video a thumbs up. Thank you so much, and back to this discussion. Before I go too much far, just using one word to say what Mutahi Ngunyi is saying indirectly. Mutahi Ngunyi is telling William Ruto, you are a dictator. In fact, a bad one. Because even some dictators do listen. And when they listen, they buy into the advice. Ruto is not among those dictators who listen. That is what he's saying in simple. Now, going by what we are in now, the question will be that why did the people go to the street to demonstrate? We know very well what happened. There was the finance bill that originated from the cabinet to the National Assembly. And their suggestion was meant to collect more money without caring on how they're getting this money. Whether indeed the money will be collected or not. Their aim was to meet their budget estimates. Ruto, in his budget, want to do what Uhuru did in 10 years, in 1 year time. That budget confirms that whatever Kibaki did in 10 years, Ruto want to do it within 1 year. It means you will strangle everyone if you want to achieve this. Then after 1 year, you will have no country to lead and no people to depend on in terms of taxes. Now, people said no because they were looking at it and they were giving their own view. In terms of moving from 8% to 16%, it was a big no. You come to basic commodities, the price is rising. You come to fuel, which define any other business anyone want to do in this country. Moving it from 8% to 16%, it was a big no. The public said no. But what happened? Ruto still forced his way. He forced his way to the National Assembly by doing two things. Number one, buying those members of parliament who are not part of Kenya Kwanza. They were bought. Number two, he threatened the members of parliament who are in Kenya Kwanza. He was heard very loud. He was very clear, and he said that, if I quote him, I am waiting to see those members of parliament who are going to vote against the bill that is meant to collect money in this country. I am waiting to see those members of parliament. That was William Samoei Ruto. The question is, while he is waiting, what was his intent? What was he going to do to the people who are going to vote against that bill? That is the big question. It was a huge threat. Then from there, Ruto bought his way and he forced his way. Ndio maana Mutahi Ngunyi anasema ya kwamba being unreasonable man is like, if it is not you, there is no development. It's like your word is final. You don't buy into advice. People say different, but for you it is your word. So it was passed. Now impunity came in. Ruto quickly signed the bill. It became a law. But Okiya Omtata, as he had warned him earlier, because if Ruto was a reasonable man, he would have listened even to the warning from Okiya Omtata. You are breaking the law, my friend. Some of these issues are for county government. Some of them you want to take Kenyan money illegally. He did not listen. Instead, he was busy challenging Okiya Omtata using comedy. Then the matter is in court now. As we are speaking now, this financial bill should not be operational. The court gave an order stopping for operationalization of this financial bill. Very clear. Lakini Ruto ni nani? Ruto ni nani? Just the same way Mutahi Ngunyi is saying that it is either his word or otherwise. Ruto decided to ignore the court order. And that is what Mutahi Ngunyi is referring to as a person who insists the world to adapt to him. The court has said otherwise, but you want the court to adapt to what you are doing by force. Kenyans in public participation said something different, but you don't want to listen to them. You want them to adapt to what you are saying. So you want everyone to adapt to you so that it is you driving everyone, but not being driven by what people you are leading want. The question is, why did you go to the ballot to seek the endorsement of the people? Why did you go into a social contract with the Kenyans? If not so, then you should have come to power with other means so that it will be your word. You are there because of the people's vote. So the court order ignored. Public participation ignored. Members of parliament threatened. Now we are in the people's public court. Maandamano. Tumefika hapo. Coming to maandamano. Now, go and check William Ruto's latest statement in reaction to mass action. What did he say? Sitakubali maandamano iendelee hii nchi. Ruto was literally, using his own word, suspending the Constitution of Kenya, Article 37, which says every Kenyan has a right to demonstrate when he is an armed picket and present petition to the government, to the authorities. As he said his word that he will not allow anyone to demonstrate, we saw it happening through police brutality during mass action. Today we are talking about more than 9 people who have lost their lives. The question is, and we will bring this discussion, how did these people lose their life? Walipigwa mawe ama walipigwa risasi? Na kama walipigwa risasi, hiyo risasi ni ya serikali, iko na alama ya serikali, ama ni risasi ya magaidi? Ruto wanted the world to adopt to him, but not him adopting to the world. If you are leading people in a democratic country, in a democratic society, you listen to the people, and because they put you there, you do what they want, not what you want. And if you have something you think that it is right for these people, persuade them, convince them, and let them buy into it. Do not force them. This man is forcing Kenyans to his side. He wants Kenyans to do what he thinks is right, either his way or the highway. That's exactly what is happening here. And because of this, Ruto is saying that Mutahi Ngunyi is confirming to us that indeed we have a dictator in the State House. Dictators would always want to take credit for everything that happens. No one else should take credit for that. They want to lead everything. Sometimes they don't buy into advice. And that is the man we have. This was the right time when Ruto took over office to adopt to the current political and economic situation of the country. The suffering of the people, all those things, lack of job opportunities. Alikuja akang'oa kazi kwa vijana nini akang'oa zote. Akakuja akang'oa subsidy. So he did never adopt in any way on the current political and economic and social situation. Alikataa kila kitu. So we are on William Ruto's highway. Ndio maana watu watapigwa marisasi, mambo yatafanyika mengi. So progress depend on such kind of a person. And Kenyans are saying no. I don't know your views, but let us submit in the comment section for continuation of this conversation. Otherwise, thank you so much and see you in our next video.